Good afternoon, everybody. Happy hump day to you on this May 7th, 2025. I have all of the stories for your rush hour ride home, and what a day indeed. I say this pretty much every day, but it's just wild out there. There's an update to the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case, which involves the billionaire backer of Justin Baldoni being the victim of arson. You heard that correctly. A possible kidnapping attempt and arson will all be discussed. I've got that story for you. And more on Laura Owens. She's been charged with 7 counts of felony in the Bachelor Clayton paternity scandal. We've got more information about what some of those charges may be. A raid went down at her house. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually reporting this. And then the conclave, it continues as the doors have been closed and they're going to decide who the next pope is. We'll discuss that. And more on Justin Baldoni, actually. I had a different story planned about the shuttering of Wayfair, the charitable wing of Wayfair Studios, and what this means for the organizations that they have been supporting. And then a little bit on Tom Brady and an update on Barstool, as the president of Barstool, Dave Portnoy, is going scorched earth on the people responsible for the anti-Semitic sign that was shared at one of his restaurants. All right, boy, we are jam-packed, and we're getting this started right now on The Rush. So here's the schedule. I'm going to share this Baldoni breaking news story right after the Pope. So that's coming next. We're not going to wait on it. Doors to the Sistine Chapel have been closed. The papal conclave to select Pope Francis's successor has begun. Have a listen.
Tolling behind me as those who are not involved in the election of this next Pope leave the Sistine Chapel. Only the electors stay inside that room. And again, there are 133 of them taking part in this conclave, the most diverse conclave that we have witnessed in our time.
And by the way, ABC News coming in with golf announcer voice, as they sort of do a live stream coverage. I tell you what, I'm not going to cover this that closely, but we'll let you know when the smoke clears or the white smoke is risen or however it works. And by the way, 0% chance it will be Donald Trump, even though he did post an AI selfie of him as the next pope. Although, as we've learned, you can be pope if you're not a priest. A monk was once a pope. That was like 600 years ago. So probably not going to happen. No, I say no to being pope. I know no one's nominated me, but no thank you. We've got a lot of work to do here, including this story. This is wild, folks. And I got to tell you right now, LakeMcHenryScanner.com is the only one reporting this story. I had to double and triple check to make sure that it's legit. As far as I can tell, it is, although it's so breaking that no one else has it. Prosecutors say suspect committed arson, tried extorting billionaire family in Highland Park by threat of kidnapping. Now, folks that are sort of pro Blake Lively have already said, well, billionaires have this happen to them all the time. But the facts are, and as I'm going to read them, that the accused arson actually discussed the Blake Lively lawsuit. Now, Steve Sarowitz is on Team Justin, I'm assuming, as he's the founder of Wayfair, right? He creates Paylocity and becomes a billionaire, and he wants to use that money for good. He's of the Baha'i faith, and he's actually a Jewish man. And he says you can be Jewish and also Baha'i, and it's all about knowing that all the religions are there, to sort of communicate these core beliefs and all of that. And Justin also is of that same faith, Baha'i. I'm guessing the arson is not. Prosecutors say a suspect committed arson at a billionaire family's home in Highland Park and then threatened to kidnap their daughter if they did not provide him $80,000 in cash. Lake County Assistant State's Attorney Dino Catris said a garbage can was lit on fire in the driveway of a house at the 200 block of Roger Williams Avenue in Highland Park at 3:25 a.m. on April 28th. Okay, so this information's just coming out, but this happened last week. The garbage can was filled with paint cans and other flammable accelerants. It burned to the ground and damaged the home's lawn. The Sarowitz family owns and lives in the home, and they're one of 2 known billionaire families who reside in Highland Park. Steve Sarowitz is chairman of Paylocity, founded in 1997. He's the CEO of Blue Marble Global Payroll, founded in 2013. His wife, Jessica, is the managing partner of Forest Bay Partners. Again, so how does this have to deal with Justin Baldoni? Because that's the argument already being made by some pro-Blake people. Is like, look, no one endorses this, obviously. But at the same time, billionaires get hit up all the the time. Well, we're going to get some more information to that. So on the same day of the arson fire, Jessica Sarowitz received a text message from an unknown number that indicated a threat of kidnapping of their daughter if the family did not provide 80 grand in unmarked, non-sequential bills. The message referenced that the garbage can on their property was torched, and that was a precursor to more serious harm. So that's what they did. They lit the thing on fire. They sent the message and said, see that burning fire can? Give us the 80 grand. And again, if you're a billionaire, 80 grand is literally nothing. It's like giving $5 to a guy on the street, right? It's nothing. But again, this is still wild. You call the cops immediately. So they said, if you fail to comply, we will take daughter's name hostage. She won't make graduation. At that point, we will ask for more money. If you guys are prepared to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Miss Lively and her family, we are sure you can spare a few for your daughter. A day later, an unknown number sent text messages to the family's daughter with the same information. Another message was sent on Thursday to the daughter identifying her college and the address of her sorority house where she frequently visits. Yikes! This is insane. Okay, Miss Honor Roll, we know your address. You guys are not untouchable. You can upgrade your security all you want, and that still won't stop us. We are prepared to ruin all your lives over a little bit of money. The next fire we start will be from the inside. More text message. Again, this has not been vetted outside of this website. And also I was given this, which is the facts of the investigation. So there's the 8 counts, class 3 felonies, arson, intimidation, harassment through electronic communication. Apparently this guy's got his first appearance Sunday, May 4th. Or had it Sunday, May 4th. At that hearing, the Lake County State's Attorney's Office filed a petition to detain. The state's petition was granted. He remains in custody between the 2 dates and will remain in custody until the trial date without the ability to post cash. I don't know for sure if I'll be at this trial, but I'm already looking into possibly reporting from the trial. This is wild. Now, of course, this is somebody... I've got no information to believe that Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds are actually behind this, but I think it's crazy to discuss that somebody following this case sees that this guy's got $100 million and then uses that. It kind of makes me feel like it's made up. Apparently it's not, but that alone trips my intuitiveness. I go, I don't know. This sounds like it's becoming fan fiction here. But again, right now, LakeMcHenryScanner.com is reporting it, and nothing that I could find shows this to be parody. So she says, we gave the text messages said, we gave you guys time to consider our offer. Remember, no one is untouchable, not even you guys. You can have someone posted at night. You can leave the lights on. You can upgrade your security. We will still get by. Understand we took precautions to stay hidden, and we are prepared to ruin all your lives. We're not asking for millions, just for $80,000. That's nothing to you people. And by the way, why would someone go to all this trouble for only 80 grand? And maybe that's to slip under the radar. We can do this the easy way, and nobody has to know. All you guys have to do is drop off the money at a public location and we disappear. Simple as that. If you'd like to go against us, then so be it. We will not stop. The next fire will be from inside the premise. The person sent another text message on Friday, this time to Steve Sarowitz, informing him that the sender was the person who left the present outside his residence, that the next fire will be from inside. And it goes on and on. The FBI coordinated with the Highland Park Police Department to use technology and warrants to isolate the sender. Law enforcement identified the text messages were sent from the Highland Park Public Library. Eduardo Aragon, 25, of Highland Park, was seen on surveillance video coming to the library parking lot at night using the free Wi-Fi at the same time the messages were sent. Aragon confessed that he was the one who started the fire on the property. He admitted to going to the library and sending the messages over Wi-Fi and demanding the $80K to not kidnap the family's daughter. He said he had been out of work for 2 years and needed the money. Well, first of all, this is just sad because you should not intimidate anybody in any way whatsoever, especially kidnapping their child. And also, it's sad that someone would be this desperate, clearly delusioned, and now they're going to have to pay the price. Charged with 1 count of arson, 6 counts of intimidation, and 1 count of harassment through electronic communication. They say the defendant is dangerous. Setting a fire on the property in the middle of the night is dangerous. Fires are unpredictable and can spread very quickly. Yeah, I mean, we just had fires. SoCal just had billions and billions of dollars worth of damage from the wildfires. People died, and it was terrible. So, yeah, this is no good. So again, if there's any more information on this story, I'll absolutely be here to cover it. Are we going to get body cam footage? Are we going to get, I'm guessing since he already admitted to it, the trial will be quick. The defendant took substantial steps to terrorize his family, and he has succeeded in placing them in a constant state of fear for their safety. The Lake County State's Attorney's Office filed a petition to detain Aragon pending trial. All right, there it is. There's your updates. So again, we'll have to see what comes of this. I've got another Justin Baldoni story. The Wayfarer Foundation, news sources are coming out and explaining that they are shuttering their foundation in part because of the bandwidth and resources needed for this trial. I got a quick sponsor break, and then we'll be back with this story next. Today's podcast is sponsored by RUSHHOUR. Curious about Ozempic or Wegovy, but not sure if your insurance covers it? That's where RUSHHOUR comes in. RUSHHOUR's insurance checker lets you know if you're covered for GLP-1s for free. RUSHHOUR's free insurance checker will send you a comprehensive report of your coverage details so you can make a decision that's right for your goals and your budget. Plus, RUSHHOUR members have support throughout the process. You'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. No paperwork, no negotiating, no waiting on hold. Join the over 350,000 people who've trusted RUSHHOUR to check their coverage for free. Go to ro.co/rushhour for your free insurance check. That's ro.co/rushhour to see if your insurance covers GLP-1s for free. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warnings and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Now back to the show. All right, this is what we plan to talk about today, Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Foundation fold. We covered this last week, but now we're finding out kind of more details as to why. They've blown so much cash on their legal mess with Blake Lively that the charitable arm of his Wayfarer Studios has taken the hit. It's shutting down for good. Sources made it clear to TMZ the shutdown's tied to the ongoing lawsuits and the toll that's taken financially and emotionally on Baldoni and co-founder Steve Sarowitz, though Wayfarer Studios itself is still chugging along. Now, Wayfarer Studios has made a ton of money. So again, he's a billionaire. I'm sure they're going to be able to figure out how to afford all of this. But at the same time, he is going to be spending so much of his own money for the Baldoni fund here for this lawsuit. Of course, not just to help his pal Justin Baldoni, but their Wayfarer Studios depends on it. They're nothing, if they can't fight this, the company itself is going to go under. So they've got all their eggs into that basket. So that's why, because initially you go, well, how can a foundation just shut down? Like they've got billions of dollars. And it's like, well, just because Steve Sarowitz has, a company that's worth billions of dollars doesn't mean he has access to that kind of cash. A lot of it's stocks and a lot of other things. So they say Steve's poured over $100 million of his own money into the foundation's partners. And despite the shutdown, he's still committed to delivering nearly $35 million more this year, with some grants stretching into 2026. I think that's pretty wild that he's giving. Look, how many billionaires out there hoard their money and don't give any? So good on him. You know me, I don't think anyone should really be a billionaire. I think once you get to that $900 million range, you're okay. You got enough money, but at least here you're seeing that he's doing good with it. All right, let's go to Laura Owens and talk about her real quick. So last night we found out there was 7 felony charges against her. She, of course, lied about multiple things with Clayton Echard, The Bachelor. This will be a documentary, full-blown. She's going to get a mugshot taken. She's going to get, I don't know if she'll get perp walked. I don't really know what they're going to do, but she's going to have her arraignment. And we're going to find out more to the story. We don't have all the information just yet, but there is reporting going on now from San Francisco. Bay Area radio legend's daughter indicted in bachelor paternity scandal, which is huge. Of course, her father's in the Radio Hall of Fame, and they've sort of weaponized her father to raise money, they say for his medical costs, but she owes $200,000 right now in legal fees, and she's going to owe a hell of a lot more if not serve jail time. So a question came to me in the Patreon from Chris. She said, I want to know exactly where Dave was when this information came out. So I was actually in the grassy knoll of the baseball stadium. I was at the Nashville Sound here in Nashville, Tennessee, and there's this little grassy area in left field where you can picnic with your family. And it was my son's first birthday. We took him to the game. He didn't know what was going on, but we gave him a little funnel cake. He was loving it. He was, cheering and clapping when people were clapping. Someone claps, he claps. He has no idea. And we're having a blast. And then I see I had a missed call, and then someone else texted me saying, "Do you need me to go to the courthouse?" And then Megan Fox called, and then all of these calls came in, and then someone said, "OMG, Dave," and I got like bold text messages. "She was charged 7 felonies. OMG, OMG." And then someone sent me the tweet that shared everything. And I told Tasha, I was like, my wife Tasha, I said, "Honey, Laura Owens is being charged. She's being charged with crimes." And Tasha was shocked, and her parents were there, and they were shocked because they know that we, of course, had been, under the microscope and threatened with defamation charges and all these things, of course, which would never happen now. But at the time, if we didn't prove our case, she was going to come after us. And that's just the way the world works with bullies and people that use the court system to their own advantage. And she can't do that now. She either will admit to fraud in some sort of plea deal, or she'll take this to trial. But what's interesting about one of the charges is she claims she had not been intimate in a 2-year span. And now, one of the charges is that she lied about that claim. And the only way they would know about her lying about being intimate is if they have irrefutable proof that she lied. Another of the accounts against her is that she lied about being pregnant. And they cited one of these photos that she showed her belly. So, as far as I'm being told, the only way they can catch her right now is if they have proof from her phone and her devices. And as we're finding out, it seems as though, and this information might change, information coming out is that her home was raided. End of April, they raided her home and took her devices, laptop, cell phones, and were able to extract information from those devices that proved that she made up the pregnancy. Now, she has threatened to self-harm over our coverage. She's used what I call, it's just like terroristic levels of, weaponization of her own harm and what'll happen to her. And she was going to sue us for emotional distress. That's why she's lost all this weight, because the world hates her and they don't understand, and she's misunderstood. She claims to have, different medical diagnoses, and she's doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on her story. But now it looks like they've got the evidence. I haven't seen what that is. We will be here to report on it when we get that, but it's absolutely wild stuff. Again, wild. And if you're new to my channel and found me from Baldoni, don't sleep on this case. Like I said, I had somebody at TMZ reach out to me today saying, "I got a documentarian. We want to option your story." And I can't. We've got other teams of documentarians. There's literally been about a dozen or so teams of people that want this story. It will be told. Will it involve Laura Owens' mugshot? It seems like it will. Now, will it involve her telling her side of the story? The best thing she can do is come clean. That's the best thing she can do. The most interesting thing she'll ever talk about is the struggle for perfection and why she decided to lie and all of that. I don't know if she's got it in her to get to go there, but we'll have to see. It's absolutely insane. All right, coming up next, we're just flying through our stories today. I've got a little bit on Tom Brady and a little bit on Ben Affleck. So we got some Ben from Boston and Tom Brady, formerly from Boston. I don't know where he associates with now, but we'll have those stories for you next. And as I said before, we're going to continue. It's a lot to cover these different trials because there's so much information that comes up. I'm going to try my best to just sift through it and give you the spark notes and give you all of the tea that you need. And going back to Bachelor Clayton Echard, I did just receive a text message that the arraignment of Laura Owens will be May 29th. It's actually the day I'm heading to Vegas. I'll be there for Reality Steve's fan appreciation party. AI tells me that an arraignment is where the defendant is informed of the charges against them, advised of their rights, and asked to enter a plea. The judge will determine if the defendant can afford an attorney and address bail or release conditions. Will she be able to afford bail? I can't imagine they're going to arrest her on the spot, right? We'll have to see. again, I'll be here to cover it. If there's anyone in Maricopa County that wants to go live with me from outside the courtroom, although I am being told this may be live in the courtroom. I will be, like I said, I will be in the air flying to Vegas, but I'll have my mobile set up ready to go in case there's anything we can get from that. But we already know what the 7 felony charges are. But again, this will be the first time we'll have to hear what she has to say. It'll be a big story regardless. Either she takes a plea and admits to the fraud, admits to the perjury, admits to the tampering of evidence and the lying under oath, or we prepare for trial, which of course we will be there to cover. So David Portnoy, in other news, released a press release following the anti-Semitic sign that was shared at his Philadelphia bar. Now, of course, he is a multi-hundred millionaire. He's not hiring people to work at the bar, but he is the head of Barstool. He's also a Jewish man. And he, of course, is trying to call out those that let this sign happen. So he talks about this. He says the 2 idiot bottle girls, those are the people that carry the sign, were promptly fired the next day. One was inconveniently fired while she was watching a dance recital. We hope she was able to enjoy the rest of the performance. But as for the people who ordered and posted the sign, the media mogul opted for a different route. He called up Mo Khan, the guy who posted the video, and his idiot friend. On the call, they both cried their eyes out, but ultimately accepted responsibility for their hateful actions. Portnoy, also known to be the bigger man and never one to hold grudges, opted to use this as a learning experience. Now, obviously, that's sarcastic. Portnoy is known for holding grudges, but call it what it is. He wants to dance on the grave of the people that he says have wronged him, whatever that means. But he then goes on a smear about journalists for ABC News and how they try to blame him for the incident. And they say Portnoy, as a reminder, is Jewish. And then Mo Khan, the poster of the video, tried to distance himself from all responsibility. Mo Khan posts video, F the Jews sign at Barstool bar. Portnoy, the Jewish owner of Barstool, sees the video. He's upset, calls Khan, who takes responsibility. Portnoy offers Khan the chance to make things right by educating himself on the history of anti-Semitism across the world. Khan accepts. Days later, he changes his mind and decides he's a victim who now needs to be sent Solana. While Mo's apology may win him some made-up awards nobody cares about. Okay, so then they go in, and that's Team Portnoy, 3 million views. So that's what Portnoy has to say. And now he continues on Twitter to share this guy Mo Khan is an anti-Semitic coward and a liar. And I'm going to share a little bit about this guy Mo Khan.
All right, so I just dragged my ass out of bed because I got to show you this guy. Mo Khan just made this video. Mo Khan is the guy who went to the Barstool bar in Philly and uploaded the "Fuck the Jews" sign.
What I don't understand, Mo Khan denies being at the bar. But either way, right? I mean, and again, you can go watch all of this. It's a 6-minute rant by Portnoy. But Dave Portnoy is now sharing video from Mo Khan, edgy jokes where he's throwing water on sleeping homeless men. And again, I don't understand if he's a provocateur or what, but this Mo Khan does seem like a POS. Dave Portnoy calls him a flat liar. So he shared his side of the story. It's absolutely insane, but he's raising money as far as I know, let's go to what the update was. Last night when I looked at this, he raised like $8,000 for his legal defense in saying he's been smeared. Although no one's really charging him with a crime as far as I know, but he's raised $13,000. Help defend me against Dave Portnoy attacks. It's ugly, folks, and I don't think it's a fight that Mo Khan is going to win. I had a Tom Brady story I didn't get into. I guess I can sift through it real quick here, but we're running out of time. It's been a whole year since Tom Brady let his friends roast him for a Netflix special. He's still beating himself up over it, admitting it was an F-up to sign up for the event. He basically said he was fine being the target of all of the hits, in the roast, but what he didn't realize is the effect it would have on his kids. And again, just another mention of celebrity is you have to be so mindful of look, he's got thick skin, he can handle it, but jokes about his ex-wife and his ex-wife banging the jiu-jitsu, it's like their kids have to live with that, and then people will be talking about them in school, and dang it feels like I know people might think this is funny, but it sounds like it's tough to be famous. It sounds like it's tough out there. I guess everything comes at a cost. So maybe everyone can go appreciate their their anonymity. I mean, I know for me, I can't go to the airport and pick my nose. I'm not famous, but someone might see me. That's even worse. I don't have the trillions of dollars, but I can still get outed as a nose picker at the airport. So, I mean, pray for me, right? Okay, well, that's it for the updates right now. But I'm telling you right now, we are going to end this week strong Thursday and Friday because the news is nonstop. More on the Baldoni case, more on the Clayton Echard case, and everything in between. So we'll see you in the morning. Until then, I'm Dave Neal, and this is The Rush.